while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Set my heart afire.
Welcome to Kickin.
Good morning, brethren.
Coming up in the show, we look at the UAPD, our new Assistant Athletic Director in Chips and Salsa Club.
Our teachers showed up and showed out this year with Halloween costumes on Wednesday.
Here's a look at what they came up with.
Yacht Rockers won Best Group. Yeah, it's an old person thing. It's a reference to a Summer XM radio channel. Mr.
Garner, Mr. Bridgham, Mr. Schreiber, Miss Hatman, Mr. Cuthbert, and Mr. Orloff rocked their cruise ship attire.
Teachers in the 140 hallway won for Best Homemade Costumes, as they took their chances with The Price is Right.
Pictured are Mrs. Ward, Miss DeBonis, Mrs. Bailey, Miss Walker, Dr. Wanger, Mr. Tuttle, Mr. Cuthbert, Mr. Lampy, and Mr. Stern.
Mr. Cuthbert earned extra credit this year, sporting 2 different costumes in the same day. Newbie Mr. Stock won Most Humorous in his I'm Just a Bill costume.
But the punniest of all, earning Most Creative Award, goes to French Toast, aka Dr. Miller, and Miss Brown won the Grand Champion prize as Taco Bell.
According to Doughboy, it is un-American to have homework on Halloween. So Piper and I found alternate plans.
We tagged along with Officer McKean
someplace
for
I
a
never thought I'd be at age
evening.
17.
Every year on Beggars Night, UAPD coordinates Pumpkin Patrol, sending city vehicles with volunteer city employees to patrol neighborhoods to assist trick-or-treaters. The vehicles are also stocked with candy to pass out to hungry kiddos while they patrol. Officer McKean gave insight on the positive impact that community policing makes.
All of our community stuff, so anytime there's anything that revolves around the media, I handle all that stuff, and I do all the recurrent training for all of our officers. What we do for Pumpkin Patrol, and we've been doing it for about 20 plus years, is we have an increased presence, so an increased footprint. So all of our normal officers that are out on patrol, we give them candy. The candy is provided by our Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association. They donate all the candy. We divvy it up among the officers, and the officers actually go out and interact with the kids. Then being out here, people automatically drive slower, and they're just a bigger presence. They interact with the kids, and it just gives us an opportunity to just be out in the community, not in an enforcement capacity.
Our trick-or-treaters are safe, and we're just looking to make sure that everyone is having a good time and staying safe.
Happy Halloween!
Thanks, Pumpkin Patrol. We love you.
This has been Caroline Perwitz and Piper Crotty reporting for the WARL. We didn't take on slasher films or scary movies, but we'll be back in a few weeks with crime stories of UA.
Chief of Police Tracy Hahn formally retired after 25 years of service with the Upper Arlington Police Department on September 22nd.
The Upper Arlington Police Division says they hope to hire a replacement early in 2019.
To celebrate the release of the film Bohemian Rhapsody following legendary band Queen, iHeartRadio simultaneously broadcast their iconic song, Bohemian Rhapsody, on 650 stations yesterday at 9 a.m.
In other musical terms, Mamma Mia auditions are approaching faster than a 3-toed sloth. The UA Vocal Music website has complete audition information.
Interested students must sign up for auditions outside of room 181 by next Friday.
And now to Lou Jane and Abe with sports.
Welcome back to Sports Bears.
Thomas Richter and Heidi Heierman both qualified for the cross-country state championship, which has been postponed to next weekend.
This is the first time since 2008 that a UA board has qualified for states.
Boys water polo certainly got the bread last weekend by beating stout opponent St. Xavier, and then Princeton High School to secure third in the state.
And they're back in the water this weekend for the Golden Bear Invitational.
60 of our crew bears left Columbus at 4:45 a.m. this morning to travel to Tennessee for their final fall regatta.
The head of the Hooch is one of the largest regattas in the world, with over 2,000 boats racing, over 9,000 rowers, and over 200 different teams competing.
The boys and girls will be racing on Saturday and Sunday. A live stream is available to watch on headofthehooch.org.
This year, our high school acquired a new assistant athletic director.
Lou Jane and I sat down with Mr. Smith. This year, I wanted to join a new club, so I went to the welcoming Mr. Smith to learn more and to meet and ask him a few questions about what he does and what he likes to do.
So I got here from Ohio State University. I went there for undergrad and grad school. I worked at Olentangy Liberty to start, high school up north, big rival of ours, I guess. And last 2 years, I was the middle school athletic director. So a lot of the sophomores and freshmen probably saw me at Hastings and Jones. So that's where I'm here. This is my first year. So a typical day, what I kind of do here, Tony and I work together every day. No day is the same. We take care of a lot of our athletes and scheduling, making sure that you guys are ready to compete. I also take on the responsibility of our clubs. So we have over 60 active clubs this year. So if you guys are interested, check out the website or come see me. Outside of school, so I'm a former athlete myself, so I like to stay active. I like to work out and exercise. I like to play golf, although I'm not very good at it. Play slow pitch softball, pick up basketball, so a lot of what I do. I try to keep the young self going. I'm an athlete, I guess. Yeah, so again, I love to see our students come in and ask any sort of question about any sport. Both Tony and myself's doors always open. We love when kids stop by. Same thing with clubs. If you're looking to get involved in something, whether it be sports, whether it be clubs, just looking to get involved in anything, come see me. We'll find something for you. Yeah, I love UA. Both Tony, myself, and Robin, our athletic secretary, we talk about how blessed we are to be able to work here because our kids are so awesome. Our parents are phenomenal. The support in the community. So to say I'm enjoying UA would be an understatement. Go Bears!
This has been Abe and Lou Jane from the WARL. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself if you see him at school or athletic events.
Girls basketball began practice last week and boys basketball starts today.
We still have a while before the winter sports season begins.
Now I toss the bag over to Macy and CJ on the couch.
Chief called and said the couch is it.
Pineapple and non-pineapple pizza supporters can finally put their differences aside as a photo of candy corn pizza surfaced on Twitter last week.
Speaking of trends, Trips and Salsa Club is a spicy alternative to Tuesday afternoons.
Aurora and John took a look at this fresh club.
New this year is Chips and Salsa Club. This group of students test different salsas and determine the best salsa in the store.
That one's actually so good.
The club meets once a month. Contact Tristan Miller or Anthony Gober for the next meeting dates. This has been Aurora and John for the WARL.
What is your favorite thing to dip chips in? Vote on your Twitter poll at live_UA to voice your opinion.
The Hidden Gem Cap Club focuses on filmmaking and a love for movies.
Come on over to the WARL on Thursdays during office hours for a fantastic cinematic experience.
Culture and Diversity Club is having a bake sale at the high school during Election Day.
Remember, seniors, there are field hockey games today, and if you leave your parking spot at lunch, it may be taken when you return.
Thanks for catching up with us, Bears. Now we kick it back to Maine with Piper and Carol.
The annual Winter Dance is the first weekend after winter break. It's 70 days away, but the sophomore class officers want all of you to help them decide on the details.
Joining us this morning is the sophomore class president, Dennis Erdl, and vice president, Josh Shepard.
Hello, classmates. For this year's Winter Dance, the class officers and I have decided to let the people choose the theme.
A Google form is available for all students to fill out on Schoology.
On the form, students may select their first, second, and third choice.
The options for the Winter Dance are as follows.
Winter Wonderland.
The Nutcracker.
Enchantment Under the Sea from Back to the Future.
Classic video games, pre-2000.
Titanic.
Harry Potter.
And Polar Express.
The Google form will be open until next Thursday, and the results will be announced Kickin' It next Friday.
Thanks, Bears. Now let's kick it back to Maine.
Students for a Change is holding a raffle next week to raise money for victims of sex trafficking.
The raffle tickets are $1 each, or you can donate gently used clothes in exchange for tickets. Possible prizes include gift cards to places like Nothing Bundt Cakes, the Goodie Shop, and Late Night Slice.
This weekend is the end of daylight savings time, which means an extra hour of sleep Sunday morning.
Don't forget to check out Paige Plaginge's book signing this Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 at the Chocolate Cafe.
Tune in next week to hear stories about the UA Discussion Forum, our new wrestling coach, Sizzlin' with Sam, and a potentially special surprise in the LC.
Have a great weekend, Bears. We'll see you next week.